Good morning and welcome to Webinar Wednesdays with Senior Medicare Patrol. We're really happy to have you all here with us this morning. My name is Sunny Lawless and I'm the volunteer coordinator for our SMP programs. I'm going to be your host for this morning, and presenting for us today will be Johnetta Red, who is our complex interaction specialist, and Jose Pinto, who is one of our Georgia community outreach specialists. Today, for the February installment of Webinar Wednesdays, we're going to talk about the Medicare summary notice and the explanation of benefits and how you all can use that to help fight Medicare fraud. During the presentation, you're welcome to type any questions that you may have into the chat, but we're going to hold those until the very end when we open it up for Q&A. There's also going to be a prize drawing at the end for those of you who were registered to attend today's webinar prior to 10:15 a.m. this morning. Now, before we get started, I do have to let you know that this project is supported by the Administration for Community Living, Department of Health and Human Services as part of a financial assistance award with 100% of the funding by ACL and HHS. The contents are those of the authors and do not necessarily represent the official views of, nor an endorsement by ACL, HHS, or the U.S. government. For those of you who are new and have never joined us before, we want you to know who Senior Medicare Patrol is. Well, SMPs are grant-funded projects, like we just said, from the Department of Health and Human Services and the Administration for Community Living. All SMP grantees have a shared national identity through a national program name and logo. Every state has its own Senior Medicare Patrol program. So in Georgia, Louisiana, and Mississippi, the SMP is sponsored by AdviseWell. And the SMP mission is to empower and assist Medicare beneficiaries, their families, and caregivers to prevent, detect, and report healthcare fraud, errors, and abuse. And we do that through outreach, counseling, and education. So before I turn things over to Jose and Johnetta, we do have a quick polling question for you. And today's question is, are you on Original Medicare or do you have a Medicare Advantage plan? So I'm going to launch the poll. So are you on Original Medicare, Medicare Advantage, or I'm not on Medicare? And we'll give everyone just a few seconds to vote. All right, it looks like just about everyone has voted. So I'm going to close the poll and share the results. And it looks like about, we're kind of split down the middle with Original Medicare and Medicare Advantage, and then 40% of you said you're not on Medicare. All right, so I'm going to turn things over to Johnetta, who is going to get us started with the first part of our presentation today.
Okay, thank you, Sunny. So let's begin. What is the Medicare Summary Notice? The Medicare Summary Notice is also known as the MSN, is a statement that people with Original Medicare receive. Medicare mails the Medicare Summary Notice out every 3 months of the Medicare Part A and Part B covered services. If you don't receive services or medical supplies within that 3-month period, you will not receive an MSN. The MSN will show all the services billed to Medicare for you, both under Medicare Part A, which is inpatient, and Medicare Part B, which is outpatient. Next slide. So the next thing we have is the explanation of benefits. The explanation of benefits is also known as the EOB, is a notice that people with the Medicare Advantage plan, and this is going to be the Part C or the Part D prescription drug plan, receive after they receive medical services or supplies. These are mailed every month, depending on which Medicare Advantage plan you may have. All EOBs show the same information, but the layout and other specifics, it may be different, and it's going to be varied by the plan. Next slide. The Medicare summary notice and the explanation of benefits are not bills. This is a record of what services or what products Medicare was paid on your behalf. It's very important that you receive your Medicare summary notice or the explanation of benefits to make sure that the information is correct. Next slide. Okay, so now let's look at it. Now we'll just take a few minutes to review a sample of the Medicare summary notice. The first page of the Medicare summary notice will have your deductible status, your claims, and the cost for this period. It will also include the total you may be billed and the providers who submitted the claim during this period. Next slide. The second page of the MSN provides you with information on how to check your notice, also how to report fraud, and where you can call to get help if you have questions. Next slide. The next few pages of the notice will provide you with detailed information on your claim. The claim information shows the date of service and the name of your provider, as well as a detailed description of what services were performed. Next slide. The final page explains how to handle a denied claim and how to file an appeal. For assistance on filing an appeal, you want to contact your state's Senior Health Insurance Assistance Program. This is also known as the SHIP program, and there is one in each state. Next slide. If you have a Medicare Advantage plan, you will receive an explanation of benefits, or the EOB, not the MSN. Your plan will send you one of these after services are received. This means every time you go to the doctor, have medical treatment, or any type of medical services are done, you'll receive this notice. Next slide. We also ask you to, when reviewing your Medicare summary notice, we ask you to use a personal healthcare journal or maybe your calendar to track the services or the equipment that you received. The healthcare journal is a booklet that allows you to keep track of every aspect of your medical information in one place. It includes a section for you to list the doctor or to list your appointments. You can record the date of your appointments, your doctor's name, and the reason for the visit. You can also track the dates of when you had medical tests done or when you had lab work or any type of x-rays done. Next slide. Always look at the information to make sure that it is accurate. Check the dates of service and match it to the healthcare journal or match it to the calendar. The questions you should be asking are to yourself are, do you recognize the provider's name? Did you receive the type of services that are listed? Services like lab work, x-rays, or other type of tests. Also, check to make sure that you're looking at the complete, the dates of service and all the dates of services that are listed. Make sure that there are no charges and that you are being charged the correct amount. For example, were you charged more than once for the same dates of service? Next slide. Review your Medicare summary notice to make sure there are no unusual or suspicious claims. You should be looking for things that you don't recognize, such as the provider's name, date of service, any type of test that you didn't have. If you see claims that you don't recognize, or if you see a provider that you don't recognize, you can call that provider. And if you don't get a satisfied answer, you can receive if you don't get a satisfied answer from that provider, or if you don't feel comfortable calling that provider, you can contact Senior Medicare Patrol at 877-272-8720 for help. And just reach out to us and we will reach out to that provider on your behalf. Next slide. Okay, so now we'll turn things over to Jose, who will review the SMP 3 Keys to Success in Preventing Medicare Fraud, Errors, and Abuse.
Morning, everyone. My name is Jose Pinto. I'm a community outreach person from Georgia. The 3 keys to success in preventing fraud, errors, and abuse. Next slide, please. Prevent Medicare fraud. Share your Medicare number only when necessary, such as at doctor's offices or pharmacies. Only carry your Medicare card with you when you know you need to use it. Keep records of all of your visits and procedures that take place and medical equipment ordered. Remember, Medicare will not call you to ask for your Medicare number for any reason. Guys, we've gotten a lot of reports, or I have gotten a lot of reports in Georgia about people asking or calling and asking you to review or asking you to give your Medicare number over the phone. Please just hang up the phone and do not respond. It's very important. Medicare will only ask you or send you a letter. They will not call you. Next slide, please. Detect Medicare fraud. Review your Medicare summary notices or explanation of benefits for inaccurate information, such as medical appointments you did not attend or were double billed for, medical equipment like braces, catheters, or diabetic supplies you did not order or receive. Next, please. Report suspected fraud, errors, and abuse. If you receive a suspicious call, hang up immediately. Call your provider or plan if you have questions about charges from an appointment. Call us at the SMP hotline if you suspect fraud against your Medicare or with concerns. Our SMP hotline number is 877-272-8720. Next. Also, we all encourage people and encourage community specialists to go out and try and recruit volunteers. Volunteer to help protect Medicare and seniors. You can receive trainings on the basics of Medicare and Medicare scams to provide short scripted presentations and attend community events in your area to educate seniors on fraud. Volunteering with us is flexible and helps protect older adults. You participate in bi-monthly webinars and trainings throughout the year. Please call us if you know someone who's interested or you yourself are interested at 877-272-8720 if you're interested or with any questions. Next. Follow us on Facebook and other social media platforms. Scan the QR code below. Review our postings to stay updated on the latest scams and events we will be attending or hosting throughout your state. Keep informed by watching our educational YouTube videos and podcasts about fraud impacting older adults. I encourage everyone to go to your local state-run Facebook page. We do a great job of keeping up on everything. I think you guys would really enjoy seeing the events that we're all attending and getting out into the community and talking to seniors and their caregivers. Next. Together we can fight Medicare, empowering seniors to prevent healthcare fraud. Call us to report potential healthcare fraud and discuss related concerns or request us to attend your event at 877-272-8720. Visit our website at www.stopmedicarefraud.org for more information about the SMP program in your state.
All right, thank you, Jose and Johnetta, for that information on using your MSN and EOB to fight fraud. Unfortunately, I don't have the invitation for our March webinar, but it will be preventing identity theft. So how can you protect yourself and your identity from scammers will be our topic for March. And that webinar is scheduled for March 27th at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. And you all will receive an invitation once registration is open for that event. So now it's time for our prize drawing. Everyone who was registered prior to 10:15 a.m. this morning is on our prize wheel. So let's give, let me open it up real quick. Let's see. There we go. All right, and we will give that a quick spin and see who our winner is today. All right, congratulations, Miss Kathy. I will be reaching out to you a little bit later this morning to see which you'll have your choice between a $25 Walmart or Amazon e-gift card. So thank you very much for registering this morning, and congratulations on being our winner. Let's get back over to our slides. There we go. So now it's time for question and answer. Before we wrap things up, if you have a question about any of the content that we've provided this morning, raise your hand and I'll unmute your line and you can ask your question. If you look to your go-to control panel, you should see a hand, and if you click on it, it will raise it, and you can ask us a question. All right, well, I'm not seeing any hands raised. So this will conclude today's presentation on using your MSN and EOB to fight fraud. I will be sending an email shortly after the webinar today with a link to a survey, and we would really appreciate it if you would take just a couple of minutes to complete the survey based on the information that we provided you with today, and just to let ACL know how we did. And I'll be sending that link in the thank you email here shortly. So thanks again. We appreciate you joining us this morning, and we hope to see you again soon. Everybody have a great day.